Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard. If you're brand new, welcome back. If you're not, welcome home if that sits perfectly for you. Today we are going to do a pick a card reading. We're going to create 4 piles together. We're going to talk today about blocks being released, opportunities coming in for yourself, for the collective, whatever that looks or feels like for you. Here's the deal. These are our 4 stones, right? So you have a beautiful agate cloud. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. You have a beautiful agate star for pile number 2, right? So beautiful. Look at that. Just gorgeous. You have a beautiful wing for pile number 3. This is labradorite, right? And you can't see the flash. I can never get the flash to come through properly, but boy, it is gorgeous. I just love it. And pile number 4, you have a beautiful agate moon. So here's what I want you to know. This is where your intuition is going to become part of the magic of this reading. So if right now you know which pile you want, which pile speaks to you today, which pile is calling you intuitively, which one resonates the most, you can go ahead and hit the timestamp down below. That's absolutely fine. We're going to choose some oracle cards together, and then we will draw tarot for each pile. So I'm going to leave you with these for just a moment, see if you like them, see if they speak to you, or if you'd prefer to wait until we get those oracle cards. So take a second, see what you got. Okay, let's go ahead and create our oracle card piles. Here are some things I'd like to say. So today we're talking about blocks. What blocks are coming up for release? What obstacles are going to be dissolved and cleared for you? What are the opportunities that are coming in for you? And these can be broadly reaching as self opportunities. They can be ways that you create space in the collective. Whatever that means, however that comes in, that's our angle today. That's what I'm being asked to speak on. So we'll go ahead and allow that to just create whatever energy it wants to create in each and every pile, right? And remember, if at any point you feel like you have the answer for which pile is yours today, you absolutely may hit those timestamps below and go straight to your reading. That's absolutely fine. I do want to say these are general readings, right? So there's no way that this information can or should apply 100% to every single person listening. So if you get something that's non-resonant for you, please just put it right back down. You're under no obligation to grab anything that doesn't feel like it belongs to you. That's absolutely okay, right? Your intuition is always the best gauge for any information that comes through. Whoop, we got a jumper. Okay, look at there. A change in the wind, right? So this is our collective card right here. As we draw for our piles, whatever comes out feels always like to me like that's a collective message. That's for whoever's sitting here listening, right? So let's talk about this for just a moment. This card number 12, change in the wind, right? So what we want to pay attention to is what's shifting, what's changing for you. And as we're talking about this reading, right, with these blocks being released, with what's coming in, this is a reminder to be open to whatever is going to come in for you, right? And I don't specifically mean like in this reading, I mean in your life, right? Make sure that you're minding your whole experience right now, because we are in a time of deep transition. And the bottom line is whenever you find this reading, you want to make sure that you are staying open that you're staying available for what is being asked of us. Not just, again, not just individually, but collectively as well. Mostly because this is really a time of change, a time of shift. And the more intentional we are about our openness, the easier it's going to be to claim what's being offered, what's being where we're being invited to go, right? The bottom line is that if we feel fixed, right? If we feel like we're stuck, if we feel like we're afraid to shift or move, what happens is that even if we get opportunity, we feel like we're missing out because we feel that stuckness. And so maintaining yourself as the wind changes around you really creates opportunity, not just for change to come to you, but also for you to claim yourself as solidly rooted and solidly grounded within those winds of change, right? So now that we are completed here, we have our piles. 1 with this cloud, 2 with the star, 3 with the wings, 4 with the moon. So take just a second. Again, allow your intuition to do this work, right? You're not choosing the pile is choosing you. So give it a second. See how that feels to you. All right, pile number 1, those of you who chose the cloud. Let's get that over here. Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. We'll put it here and see how it goes. All right, let's check your oracle cards. I'm so excited. So our topic today is blocks. Blocks and obstacles that are being released and opportunities that are coming in for you, whether or not this relates to the self or the collective, right? We're very specific. This is a very specific part of the intention that came through. So let's check it out. All right. You have the alchemist, right? Change, refraction, infusion, transmutation. So beautiful. As we are actually talking about transformation and shift, the Alchemist is a beautiful card, right? This really talks about the ways that you level up, the ways that you create from your own raw materials. That's beautiful. I love it. Let's keep going and get all of our information first. So you have the solar plexus chakra, identity and will, right? And so solar plexus chakra is about where you get your power from, right? How you are able to power your reactions, right? Your transformation, where that power source comes from. I want this one first. So you have the observer. So cute. Look at him, he's sweet little fox. So this card is this card talks about how you surrender, right? This card talks about how you witness as opposed to being the active participant, right? So you have identity and will here. The alchemist, right, has to be intentional and allow for the reactions. And the observer, right, what we know about this in terms of, like, let's talk about it like with quantum energy. The observer shifts and changes every reaction, right? There is no true reaction that is not influenced by the observer. And we have willing release. Look at that. How beautiful is that when our topic is about blocks and obstacles that are being released? That is absolutely lovely. And look at this. Look at this. Let me please show you this. You have 2 number 49s. So if 4 or 9 are important to you, or the number 13, right? Pay attention there, right? Pay attention there. So, wow, that's a bunch of information right there. So how willing are you to break down your sense of transformation into its inherent parts. How willing are you to really create transformation in your own heart's desires form, right? This is absolutely beautiful stuff. I want to get into tarot on this because this is exciting. So when we're talking about shifts and changes, right, the key to any shift or change is the state with which you approach it. And what we can say about change in terms of the alchemical is really about that intention, right? If we talk about spiritual alchemy, right, not just I want to turn lead into gold, right? It's about how you turn your spirit into gold, your identity, your will, your personness, your center of activity, and the way that you claim yourself, right? That solar plexus is about giving yourself permission. And the alchemist really is about taking that permission and putting it into motion. And if we're going to create something, right, creation can't happen without destruction. And so the key here is that we have to make space for that, right? We can't just keep creating, right? There has to be creation and destruction, right? There has to be that Shiva consciousness in that cycle, mostly because if there's not, then you don't have anywhere to put it, right? Like the universe doesn't have a big self-storage space. Heavens, no, that would be a mess. Okay, so look at that. You get the world right off the bat. The world, of course, is about cycle completion. The world is about learning and integration. So this is not just change for change's sake, right? This is that leveling up, that transforming what is into that next level, that next phase. And of course, these are all really, let's call it, aligned to the presence of divine order. The world takes on that learning, right, through not just through the active process, but also through the witnessing, let's call it, the time taken to be in assessment, right, of how a lesson feels, of how it fits, of how it resonates, not just with you, but for you and as you as well. Ooh, look at that, 2 kings. So because you have 2 kings in a row here, swords and pentacles, we want to talk about how your ideas shape your reality, right? The King of Swords is really the master of his intellect, the master, look at that, the master of his ideas, the master of what comes in terms of thought form. And then that King of Pentacles is really about utilization of resources in order to create from that thought form. And here we have the Chariot, which is always about how we balance those 2 polarities, right? The idea and the reality, love and logic, head and heart, real and unreal, truth and illusion. And the way that we balance those is to always come back to that sense of witnessing. What does that feel like? What does that feel like? What does that feel like, right? How do I witness this? How do I integrate the lessons of intellect? How do I integrate the lessons of 3D life and living, right? And what do I do if I choose... if I choose to level up, if I choose to say, wow, I can't manage this process right now. I can't, I'm feeling some kind of way about these lessons, right? We're talking here about blocks that are being released and opportunities that are coming in. And so, okay, dude, okay, I see you. So the bottom line is that what you're being asked to witness now, oh, look at that, yeah. Okay. Look at that. All right. So we have the World, the Four of Cups, the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Chariot. And then we have the Ten of Wands, Justice, the Emperor, the Three of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. So behind the scenes, you're really talking about big life shifts and changes. And of course, how could you not be with these cards talking about blocks and transformation and opportunities, right? So the way that you're being asked to move through these shifts and changes, and these shifts and changes are really stepping into your next level, right? This is about how you're going to level up and really become part of your own, let's call it manifesting cycle, right? This is really about how you're going to become your own most powerful creator, how you're going to become that self-alchemist, right? Not just transforming yourself, but transforming the world around you, really stepping into your wholeness as a creator, not just in your head, but also witnessable in your reality, right? And the key here is, how are you going to determine what to release? Since we're talking about blocks being released, well, here's the deal. You have a lot that is teed up to be released, right? And you have this big giant sword of justice underneath this Four of Cups, which is where you've been processing, right? This is that place of, you know, inner check-in. This is that place of, how does this feel to me? Well, guess what? When we're talking about justice, we're talking about that eyes closed, absolutely somatic feeling state. How do I feel? What do I want? What do I need, right? What do these things feel like to me? And the bottom line is, all of those ways and places that have felt heavy, that have felt overwhelming, that have felt like they might be shifting you out of your power. The key here is to really witness what is in line with your highest and best, right? Where am I? What do I want to integrate? And how does it feel? Where have I been coming from? And the place you've been coming from is perhaps feeling like a tug of war when it comes to idea and reality, right? Well, this is what I want, but it doesn't really match up with what I'm getting. So here's the deal. You're being asked to evaluate, do a deep evaluation on the things that aren't working. Right? Because guess what? As an alchemist, we're looking at what we're going to change. As solar plexus chakra says, where am I handing away my power? Where am I not claiming it? Where am I giving it to someone else? Well, guess what? The answer here is in idea, right? You're allowing something or some idea to have power that has created, let's call it some kind of communal situation where you're interwoven with other people who may not have this same best interest at heart, right? And so the way that you have been acting outside of the reclamation of your power is what you're being asked to allow to be released, right? You've got this High Priestess sitting here, which tells me that you already know, right? You already know what needs to go. You already know where you're steering off course. You already know where you're growing things that you didn't necessarily wish to plant, or where you're tending things that you didn't even plant, right? And you're stuck in that cycle and you're feeling super overwhelmed by it. But guess what? This cycle is wrapping up for you. This cycle of codependence and giving your power away, all of those places where it feels incoherent to be in presence for yourself because you feel obligated to be in presence for someone else, right? And the best thing that I can tell you is it's going to come in very clearly. You will instinctively know exactly what needs to be released, right? I am going to look for a clarifier on the Ten of Wands. Because I would like a little bit more guidance when it comes to specifically what it is that you are being asked. Oh, look at that. So what you're asked to release is everywhere that you're not celebrating, right? You have this Three of Pentacles here. This is about how you work together with other people. That Three of Cups indicates how do you feel about that. And because you have this Four of Cups here, that's talking about your thought process, right? The way that you're kind of looking back, like, oh, if only I hadn't done this thing, if only I hadn't given away my power and kind of gone this direction. Like I had another direction in mind, and it has created a situation where I don't feel engaged in my life. I don't feel engaged in my decisions. I don't feel engaged in the way my life is moving forward, and that's not okay with me, right? And so what's happening is that you're going to be putting down everywhere that you're not moving in joy, right? If it doesn't feel good, right? This is that heck yes or no. So everywhere that's not the yes, please, absolutely, I am going to dive in. This is going to be moved, changed, shifted for you, right? So you have big swords that are there in your toolbox, right? You have the King of Swords, you have Justice here, you have the Emperor here. These are things that are saying just because a thing has been does not mean it must keep being, right? Just because we're weaving in one direction doesn't mean we can't shift our thread and weave something else. And you already know what that is. And you also already know how big a shift it will be for you. What it will bring you is absolute shift and change, is absolute awareness of the cycle, the learning, the lesson. And what comes back to you is this sense of celebration in place of this sense of overwhelm, right? So the blocks for you that are being released are all of these places where you've been in agreement to shuffling your power, kind of outsourcing your power to someone else, and putting their heart's desire in place of yours, right? You have every single right to your wishes, to your hopes, to your dreams. And you also have the power to witness as they manifest. So what's happening right now for you is that you're being asked to really step into that desire, to step into the no, thank you. I cannot put my energy toward your thing anymore. And whatever that means to you, again, you already know, right? It's time to weave your own tapestry. It's time to find your own joy, your own inspiration, right? You know where it is. You know what it's going to take. And you have, most importantly, you have all of the power to make this happen. So pile number one, you beautiful cloud people, you. Yeah, it's time. It is time. Ooh, I wish you'd nothing but the best here. Please do me a favor. Hit like, hit subscribe. Come back. Let me know how this goes for you. And I absolutely welcome you to this cycle of repowering yourself. It is going to be amazing. And I want to know what you're going to create, right? Take care. Be blessed. If this is where we leave, thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. And if not, I will speak to you in the next pile. Take care. Hey, pile number two. Welcome. Welcome those of you who chose this beautiful star. Let's get into your cards and see what's going on for you. We're talking about blocks that are being released, obstacles that get to move out, opportunities that are coming in for you, whether that is in line for the self and the collective. I do want to remind you, this is a general reading, so everything can't and shouldn't apply to every single person. If this is your reading today, beautiful. If it feels great and you want to pick it up and run with it, beautiful. If it doesn't, that's okay. Maybe choose a different pile. Maybe choose a different reading. It's okay, right? Either way. All right, pile number two. You get teacher, learn, upskill, educate, and prepare. Beautiful. This is This is a powerful card, right? This is about shifting and changing, perhaps from being inactive to being an active participant, right? This is about how we step into our calling. This is about the way that we agree to fulfill our mission, right? Very important. Very important. Okay. So you get Yang, the number 1 card. And this Yang card is, again, about putting your energy into the world, right? So if we're talking about blocks, there may be some ways that you have felt stuck or unable to move forward, or that you had been blocked in such a way, or unable to really be in that energy of what you believe you're here to do. Ooh. So you have take action. The Fire card. Hello, we're just going to leave it right down there, right? Beautiful. So whatever it is, you're being lit up. Pile number 2. And then you get Sacred Reverence. Okay, so for you, we are going to, we're going to grab some tarot here in support of what I believe your message already is, right? So the way that you are intuitively speaking to me right now is the way that you're here to step into your mission. Right, and whatever that means to you, I cannot possibly know everyone's mission, but here's the deal. Whatever it is, if you're being activated right now, and the block, here's the deal. When you step into your mission, when you step into that next right step for what the universe wants you to do, what happens is that absolutely every single thing that you require, everything that you need, everything that you could possibly want or hope for in terms of the tools to fill the mission that you have been called to fulfill, they literally just pour forth into your field. And so if this is your activation point, let me just assure you that what is going to happen is that absolutely every resource you require is going to be provided, and you will have no doubt that what you're here to do is absolutely what you're here to do. You know, a lot of people's question when they come for services or facilitation is, I need to know what my purpose is. Well, here's the deal. If you don't know what your purpose is to find your purpose. And all that generally means is that you need to allow your intuition to have the trust that it requires in order to know, right? No one outside of you, not me, not anybody, by the way, can tell you what your mission or purpose is. Only you can. You're here to find it, and then you're here to follow it. It feels to me as though you may already know what it is, right? You're here to share something. You're here to educate people, or to allow them to be witnessed in a very sacred way, but you're also here to take action on that, right? Whatever you've been doing in terms of sitting around navel gazing, that time is over. That time is over. Let's talk here. You have the Six of Wands, the Fool, the Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Hermit. You have the Five of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Empress. So here's the deal. As we just discussed, this is y'all feel like you got an easy one today. Whatever it is that you have been sidestepping, whatever it is that you've been arguing with yourself in your head about, whatever it is you've been saying, I don't have enough blah, blah, blah to do the da-da-da, right? The universe is about to take all of those reasons, all of those excuses, all of those statements off the table for you. What's about to happen is that you are about to be granted every resource, every opportunity. You have been sitting with this for quite a while, right? You know in your heart that this is your mission. You know, you can't argue. I literally won't have it. You know in your soul, right? And you also know that you have the stamina. to put it forth. I think you've been going back and forth with it. Is this it? Am I supposed to? I'm not really sure if I can, but what if happens? Da, 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 da. Right? However that feels to you, you've been arguing with yourself for a very long time. You've been sitting with it. You've been asking perhaps for a sign, right? This is the universe taking you by the lapels and saying, no more. No more nonsense, right? We're not going back and forth anymore. It's time for you to claim your truth. It's time for you to trust in the faith of the journey, right? We're not going to have any more internal arguing, right? Like something is going to, first of all, liquidate all the nonsense, right? We're not talking about am I, should I, what if I, blah, 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 blah. Nope, sorry. All of that dismissal, all of that sidestepping the reality that is, this is why I'm here, is being taken off the table for you. And I think it really is just going to come in and be in one fell swoop, like, nope, we're not doing that anymore. Those days are over. Now we're on this track. This is the path we're on. And no matter what it takes, right? We are giving ourselves to this path. Now, here's what I want you to know. It's going to be fine, right? You have all of these assurances that this is the right move. You can think it to death. You can if you want to, but the universe is really saying, we need you now, friend. We need you to be in motion. We need you to be in trust of what you're here to do. We need you to be following your heart in these ways, large and in charge, right? You have the power. You have all of the power here to really follow your divine path. What are you going to do about that? Pile number 2. Reach for the stars, I hope. I hope that's what you're going to do. I'm going to get a clarifier on the Ten of Wands. I just did that, by the way, in pile number 1. So it seems that as we do a reading on blocks being released, we're going to get the Ten of Wands. What are you putting down? Okay. So, oh, look at you. Okay. What you're putting down is anything that is not wholly aligned, right? We have 2 King of Cups here. And so the King of Cups is about mastering your emotional state. So this is about getting control of your fear. This is about getting control of all of these inner crazy thoughts. This is about getting control of the back and forth or the self-doubt, the plaguing thoughts. This is about leading with your heart and following your heart as well. And not just in that, isn't this lovely kind of way, right? This is deliberate action. This is an action plan. This is how we do it, right? If we're talking about this teacher card here, this is a card of action. This is a card of challenging current beliefs. This is a card of shifting and changing because you know better. And so the way that you know better follows, right? That you have to do better. You have to trust the journey. You have the Fool and the Knight of Pentacles underneath one another, touching this 6 of Wands, and then flanked by these 2 Kings of Cups. Right? 2 Kings of Cups covering this sense of overwhelm, saying, it's okay. Trust your heart. Trust your heart. You know what you're doing. You've spent enough time thinking about it. Let's begin to move this energy. Let's get it out of the mental and put it into the real, right? It's about taking action. So your blocks that are about to be moved, pile number 2, this feels like a complete reading to me. It really moved quickly for you, but it's just such a clear message, right? The way that you approach what you're here to do, your activation at this point in time, is you are your block, right? You are your block. And so the opportunity that's coming in is for you to shift your own self-doubt. and put yourself into motion. You already know how you're here to serve. You just keep stopping yourself. You know how you're here to be in trust. You just keep second guessing yourself. You know what you want to do. You know how you're being called. You're just trying to ignore it. You're just trying to sidestep it. You're just trying to say, I have so many other things that I need to be doing. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You've already planted your seeds. You've already planted your seeds. How you move as what's coming, right, in line with that sacred reverence, is 100% up to you. I would say, trust it. Whatever you're not trusting in your own heart is your biggest block, right? Trust the universe, trust yourself, trust the journey, trust the process, trust how you feel, and trust that you have all the resources you need, and then approach that as your most sacred calling. And guess what? All that can happen is that you get all of the momentum handed to you, right? And you never have to want for the energy or the stamina or the endurance to fulfill your task, right? It's assured. It's assured. You just have to trust it. Pile number 2. Hit like, hit subscribe. Come back. Tell me how this goes, because I love this for you. I want to know what it is you're putting into motion in the collective and how you have released your own block. And I want to be the first one to say, well done. Bravo. Bravo, pile number 2. Yeah, get it done. If this is where we part ways, thank you for being here. And if not, I'll see you in the next pile. Take care. Good luck. Be blessed. Hello, pile number 3. Those of you who chose the beautiful wing, I just love it. All right, let's see what we got going on here for you, okay? You start with the illusionist. Lovely. So this is about illusion. This is about how this for me is always about self-deception. It's the way that you are falling into a pattern of, let's call it accepting something outside of you as your truth, right? The way that you are perhaps mesmerized by the glamour of another person or another story or something, right? This is an invitation to look behind the veils. Okay, so you get a leg up, which means you're going to get some help, right? You're going to get some help to pull those curtains back, whatever is feeling nebulous for you or unclear. You're going to get some help. Scorpio, of course. So Scorpio is the detective card, right? This is very intense energy. This is about how we see through our illusions. So, well, that's quite beautiful. And last but not least, you get the storyteller. All right. So I think let's talk about this. Pile number 3. What's about to happen for you is that you're going to see through your own narrative, or you're going to see through the ways that your narrative has been influenced or written in part by someone else. So any truths that you have accepted that are non-resonant with yourself, with your own truth. And let's remember that Scorpio energy is 100% about having a flawless bullshit detector, right? So whatever help is coming in, it might be that you're going to have an outside helper, whether or not that's a person or a resource that allows you to witness a way that you've been, let's call it, I don't want to say like hoodwinked. It's not that dire, but just a way that you've been out of alignment with the truth that is your truth, right? Because sometimes, let's face it, sometimes we get very caught up in what's going on around us. And what happens then is that we just start to accept a wider story without looking for the resonance that is our own heart's resonance. And guess what? A Scorpio energy would never do that. Scorpio energy would literally call bullshit on everybody's bullshit. I mean, most of the time. Most of the time they would. So the fact of the matter is, whatever story, I think you're going to butt up against something. You're going to butt up against something that's perhaps been accepted, an accepted part of your truth. Yeah, absolutely. So if something's coming in for you that's going to absolutely create what I would like to call a complete realignment of one of the, well, not even just one, of somewhere that has been like rock solid. You believed it was rock solid. And then what happens is that this new information comes in and actually, I'm going to say it's shocking to you. It's shocking to you. And it allows you to shift an entire paradigm, right? So let's talk here. We've got the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the Wheel and Temperance, and the Page of Cups. You have the King of Cups, the Hanged Man, Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Nine. Nine of Cups. So here's the deal. Something's going to come in very quickly, a piece of information or a statement or a truth for you, and it's going to absolutely cause you a complete and total perspective shift. I have a feeling that this is going to be something almost like the information is going to feel almost mundane. Like it's so embedded in the way that you live your life that what happens is it kind of shocks you out of a sense of routine or a sense of complacency that has been present for you for a long time. It's going to not only disrupt the routine that you have, but it's going to create a new routine, like embedded within it, that is much more helpful, that is much more in alignment with what you need at this time, right? So we're talking about a block being released. So this is some new information that's coming in. Again, and it's going to come in fast, and you're going to have the opportunity to really sit with it, to really, I'm going to say fact check it, right? And by fact check, I don't simply mean, go to the internet, go to Google and do some research and, go on Reddit and figure it out. I mean source checking, right? I mean checking with your own inner authority, and it's going to shift something for you. It's going to require a release. It's going to require a complete and total reassessment for you. Here's the deal. You do have full power over your narrative, and you know this. So the question that comes in after this is, can you openly, right, take this information in? So your challenge, pile number 3, is to 100% be available to the opportunities and the new information that's going to be presented to you. 100%, because it's going to feel like cognitive dissonance. You're going to literally I feel like what's going to happen is you're almost going to push back. You're going to be like, what do you know? That can't be right. That can't be true. Because you have such a foundation within this information. But it is true. And it's going to require some mental gymnastics on your part. It's going to require you to really stop and shift yourself in relation to this information. Now, here's the thing. Once you do that, once you integrate and process this information, you are going to have a more deeply rooted routine, a more well foundationed, I want to say like practice. Like I think you, this is something that's going to shift the way that you approach your life completely. I don't know what it is. I want you to literally, I want you to tell me about it, because it might be information I need. Who knows, right? But it is going to really allow you to step into a wider sense of self-creation, a wider sense of self-satisfaction and self-contentment. And it's going to be one of those things where you think, I did that. I accepted that, and I allowed myself to move through the accepting of this information and processing it and integrating it and really allowing it to also shift and change me for the better, right? So be on alert for this. I want a clarifier on the Ace of Swords. Yeah. So we're going to get a little bit more information about the nature of this information. Okay. So, when we're talking about the Lovers, we are always talking about not simply divine connectedness, right? The Lovers is about union, right? So it could be about union with yourself, but mostly the Lovers is about divinely guided choice, right? So that goes absolutely with the information. Remember that if you look at the Lovers is the elevated form of the Devil card, right? So this is about breaking the bonds of attachment. So really, really, really your message, pile number 3, is about being open to what comes in and then allowing your consciousness to shift. Now, this is really a point of courage, right? And you have the Page of Cups and the King of Cups here that are supporting you. You also have the Queen of Pentacles, which really allows you to be rooted and grounded in this creation of the new routine, right? So whatever it is that is going to move for you, and this is a movement. This is a foundational movement for you. But it also requires that you accept what comes, right? You have to accept it. You have to shift your perspective, and it might be personally challenging. That's okay. Like I said, you're going to have some assistance here. But remember, in this age of crazy information and artificial intelligence, when it comes to written information, what you're doing is not fact checking. You are source checking, and I mean capital S source, right? Allow yourself to source check whatever comes. And when you come to the place where you find agreement with what needs to shift and change, allow it, do it, put your energy behind it, because you will not be sorry. In fact, you will be thrilled with the results. So this is about trusting your intuition. So all of these blocks to this rigid set of beliefs that you've been holding, this is your challenge. This is your release, right? This mental, what you're releasing is your need to be right, okay? And I think that, like I said, the evidence will present itself in such a way that it will be almost overwhelming. And then when you sit with it in resonance, your perspective will shift and change naturally. So be on alert for that. And like I said, come back and let me know. I think this is a fascinating reading. I can't wait to hear what shifts and changes for you and how it comes in, right? Not only how it plays out. I like it. I like it, pile number 3. You got those wings, right? Take off. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Come back and let me know how it goes. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Hello, my beautiful pile number 4 people. Those of you who chose the moon. Let's see what you got going on, shall we? These readings have been amazing so far, so I love it. Let's see what you get. All right, you get the way shower. Usher. Decide, discern, defend, right? So this is that card of internal knowingness, right? This is that card of checking in with your own intuition and really then trusting what comes. Interesting. Let's keep moving here. All right, you get a not for you. Interesting. This is a very clear message. Not for you. So, all right, well, let's get them all out here. Soulmate. You get Juno, right? The wife of Zeus. Interesting. And quieting the mind. Okay. So your message feels fairly clear to me. Pile number 4, but let's keep going. I don't think it's an accident that you have the moon up here. So your blockage is something, and I'm going to say your blockage might be a relationship. Your blockage might be your feelings about a relationship. You're clinging to a relationship, and I don't mean that in a not in the like kind of negative accompanying way that clinging might be witnessed. I simply mean that your stubbornness or your devotion, oh yeah, to this relationship, pile number 4, is keeping you somewhere. And I'm gonna say I don't, well, let's get all our cards here first. I don't want to say that this is necessarily an instance of codependence, but yeah, it's definitely keeping you stuck. Definitely, and oh yeah, look at that, you get the moon. Okay, so wow, y'all, it is definitely decision-making time. So here's the deal. Your block is 100% a relationship in your life. I don't want to say that this is necessarily a love relationship, because we can't say that for every single relationship. What I can tell you is that it's a relationship that is not in alignment, and you know it. Here's the deal. You already know it. It's a painful relationship. It does not bring you joy. It brings you suffering and feelings of stuckness. So I will say, as I always say, if you are unsafe, please find a way to get safe before you make any movements. Putting yourself deeper into harm's way is never the answer. But if you are in a situation that is simply unsatisfying, unproductive, right? Painful in the emotional sense, right? Not in a way that's abusive or something like that. Then here's what I want to expand on. What I definitely get is that this is a relationship that has run its course for you. It's probably super deeply trauma bonded. It's probably super deeply like this is not it. I don't feel like this is going to do it for me in the long term, but I'm afraid, but I'm not sure how to get out of it. But I feel these feelings, and I just argue with myself all the time about, yes, I'm in, no, I'm not, yes, I need to get out, no, I don't. The bottom line is that, right, we're talking about blocks being released and opportunities coming in. You have the opportunity, right? You have the opportunity to create your next level. You have the opportunity to create your own freedom here. And the fact of the matter is, you have the Lovers sitting on top of 9 of Pentacles. This is a card of self-sufficiency. You know you can do it on your own. You know you can. You absolutely know that in your heart and in your soul, this isn't your relationship. right? If you think this is a soulmate situation, if you think this is a twin flame situation, it doesn't matter. What you're being asked to do is choose your health, your safety, your security, your joy. You're being asked to quiet your mind and look at where you need to be and to stop arguing with yourself about it. Right? You have the 10 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, and the 2 of Swords all sitting up here in the hello. This doesn't feel good. I do not feel free in this relationship, and I'm just not sure what to do. Right? I know I have to make a choice, but every time I go to make it, I just feel some kind of way about it. Right? I'm torn. I'm stuck in this cycle of yes, no, in, out, maybe, maybe not. You are literally being demanded to get out. Not for you. This is not for you. Quiet your mind, right? We're talking about deciding, discerning, and defending. But the message is that this is not for you, right? So my sweet pile number 4s, the place that feels unsafe is unsafe, right? And you have the power to transform it. I will say again, if you are in an unsafe situation, please find a way to create safety for yourself. Even if that means pulling in resources external to you, they are available. You can do that. Please do. Please do. But if this is just a case of a relationship that needs to end, and that's really what I get for most of you, that it's time, like it's past time, and you just feel stuck, you just feel anchored, you just feel tethered, you just feel like you don't know how to get there. Well, you have things waiting for you on the other side. It's time to step out. It's time to make the decision. It's time to bring yourself to the surface and make the divine choice. Because here's the deal. If you're holding on to a partner who's not for you, then they are also lacking the availability to the partner who is for them. Just like you. Right? Just like you are. If you know that the relationship that you're in is not the healthy relationship that's going to support you in the future, you owe it not simply to yourself, but you owe it to that person, if you ever cared for them or loved them, to release them so that they can find the next right person who is right for them, right? Who will set them on fire, who will help them become their next best person, instead of being stuck in this stagnant cycle with you, right? If you ever loved the person you're with and you don't want to be with them now is the time to release them as you release yourself. I would like clarification on the 5 of Wands. What is it that you're avoiding, right? What is it that you're just holding on to for the sake of holding on? Oh, okay. You're afraid of forward motion. You feel like you don't know how that will play out in your next steps. Well, guess what? I think you do. I think you know how it will play out. And I think you owe it here to yourself to remember that what comes is always for your highest and best, as long as you're making that choice in alignment with your highest and best, right? You've got the Queen of Wands. You've got the 9 of Pentacles. You might be single for a while you heal, but you have this amazing energy coming in to transform all of this weighty, heavy, feeling bound and stuck energy where you know nothing here is right. This doesn't feel right. But you have these 2 beautiful energies that are saying, come on, you know how it should be. You know what you want to feel, and this is not it, right? So it's like ripping off a Band-Aid, right? You know what you want, and if you don't have it, if it doesn't feel fulfilling, you might have to do some healing, certainly, but you know what it does feel like when it's right, when it's good. And the transformation that's going to come along with this, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. pile 4. So you know, right? You're in that way shower mode. You're not afraid of the darkness here. You're just feeling stuck. You're just feeling a little bit outside of, I don't know, you might have to do a little bit of self-worth work, right? These swords are about ideas. I said this, maybe it's an obligation. Maybe you feel like you told this person that you would be with them forever, or you promised this person that you would never leave them. But guess what? Like we said, what happens when you really get still and pay attention and use your discernment is that you know if you're not involved or invested in this relationship anymore, you're really preventing them from finding the next right relationship for them that will be where they are valued and cherished and loved. If you're not giving that to your partner, what are you doing, right? Make the decision, get out of whatever it is that needs to be gotten out of, and move along so that you can move toward healing, so that you can move toward that next beautiful relationship. Pile number 4, I say good luck to you. This might be challenging, but I think it will be okay in the end, right? So good luck, and let me know how this goes. Let me know that you're safe, that you're happy, and that you're moving forward, right? Because holding on because you're holding on isn't going to get you anywhere you want to be. This is where you want to be, right? Make the decision. Do the thing. Know what's not for you and move forward, right? Good luck. Take care. Be blessed.